Hi, Bill Russell from CrossFit Cleveland in Rocky River, Ohio. I'm here with your workout details for Saturday, April 4th, 2020. We're going to get you outside today with a running option in the workout. It's supposed to be beautiful, close to 60 around noon, so if you want to wait a little bit for the weather to warm up, that might be good, or you can just get right to it early in the morning. We're going to do a version of the CrossFit benchmark, Helen. We're going to do 5 rounds instead of 3. We call that Helen Plus Plus. And we're going to do pushing Helen today with push-ups instead of pull-ups. I'll go over the details in a little bit. If you notice, I've got one of the coolest trees behind me. This is a dawn redwood. And I've also got a bald cypress back by my shed. Neither of these trees are natural in this part. So I'm sure they were both planted when the house was built back maybe 50 years ago. All right, so your warm-up today, I want you to spend 8 minutes climbing a ladder of 3 movements. Burpees, hollow rock and rolls, and kettlebell swings. And at the beginning of each round, I want you to start and do 10 jumping jacks. So the first round, you'll do 10 jumping jacks, and then 1 burpee, 1 hollow rock and roll, and 1 kettlebell swing. Then 10 more jumping jacks, and then 2 burpees, 2 hollow rock and rolls, 2 kettlebell swings. Next round is 10 jumping jacks, and yes, you guessed it, 3, 3, and 3. And you're going to continue climbing that ladder as high as you can for about 8 minutes, and you'll be sufficiently warmed up for this workout. The workout is pushing Helen Plus Plus. That's 5 rounds for time of a 400-meter run, 21 kettlebell swings, and 12 push-ups. Today they're going to be hand release push-ups with a shoulder tap right and left at the top of each rep. If you have a rower, you can row 500 meters each round instead of the run. Other substitutions if you don't want to run and don't have a rower, if you have a bike, 1,000-meter bike ride each round at a brisk pace, or roughly about 2 minutes. You can jump rope by doing 75 double unders, 150 backward single unders, or 225 forward single unders each round. If you don't have a rope, you can do the ropeless single unders, we also call pogos. The cool down, I want you to get a light weight somewhere between 10 and 20 pounds and do max rep weighted sit-ups in 3 minutes. If you need any assistance with any of the movements in the warm-up or the workout, stay tuned for demonstrations of each of the movements in the order that I covered them. And as a reminder, we have another virtual ruck tomorrow, Sunday morning at 10:30. You can log on to this Zoom call, let us know where you are, and we'll get rucking. So enjoy this beautiful day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon.
I'm going to show you a couple different versions of a burpee. So we do a chest to ground. So you're just going to come down, get your body to the ground, push up. Think about getting your feet nice and wide so you can stand up and jump. If that's too much for you and you want to, that pop back and pop forward is too much, just step it back. Anything you can do, just step it back, come on down, right? And then step it wide again, nice and wide. Give me a little pop.
Hollow rock and rolls. That's where we put a hollow rock and a hollow roll together. So first I'll demonstrate a hollow rock. I like to find my hollow by lifting my legs up in the air so my lower back is flat on the ground. And I'm going to reach for my toes. Then I'm going to lower my legs and my arms to get into a gymnastic hollow position. Lower back on the ground, and I rock. 1, 2, 3. The range of that rock is not as important as focusing on keeping maximum tension through your core. So a rock is like a rocking chair. A hollow roll is like you were rolling over. Same hollow position. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3. Try to drive that movement from your core, not swinging your arms and legs around, but staying nice and tight. So a hollow rock and roll And if you haven't done these before, they're much harder than they look, and they're very good for strengthening your core. I'm going to rock, and then I'm going to roll. That's 1 rep. Rock, and roll. If you can do more than 4 or 5 of those in a row, you're probably not being tight enough. So it's more important to have maximum tension through your core, maintaining that hollow position. I'm going to demonstrate a kettlebell swing. First, talk about what a kettlebell swing is. Kettlebell swing is primarily a lower body exercise. Your upper body is involved, but you're really working to build power and explosiveness in hip extension. So what I want you to do is hold the kettlebell in both hands. Out front, we're going to do our standard kettlebell swing. The kettlebell is going to come up to about eye level or just a little bit higher. I'm going to have my feet just a little bit wider than shoulder width. And I'm going to start to swing the kettlebell. I'm going to drop down and drive up. Notice I'm not using a lot of power through my legs. As I increase that power, that kettlebell will go higher. That's what I'm after. Big hip pop. Keeping my heels down at all times, squeezing my glutes, trying to focus more on posterior chain involvement. Important thing with a kettlebell, be careful when you pick it up and set it back down. Don't be casual and just twist over and pick it up in a bad position. You might tweak something. So think of it as a deadlift. Stand around the kettlebell, reach down, pick it up, and then start to swing. Also at the end, when you're about to take a rest, don't just slump over and drop it on the ground. As you finish, 31, here, and then set it down. That's a kettlebell swing. For those of you doing this workout at home, if you don't have a kettlebell, here are a couple of ideas that you can use with household items. If you have a backpack or a gym bag or a rucksack, you can use any of those. Just be careful. If it's bigger, you got to make sure that that can come between your legs and not scrape on the floor. So this is not an ideal choice, but it will work. I'm going to grab the handle with both hands. My feet might be a little wider than a kettlebell swing because I want to have the ability for the weight to come between my legs. And I'm going to swing up, down. Mechanics are all the same. Just be careful if you've got items that are loose, you can hear it flopping around in the bag. Stuff maybe a towel or a blanket in to keep everything from moving around. Our newly famous washing detergent jug, this weighs about 15 pounds, it's fairly light. Again, holding the handle with both hands, drive up and down, up, down, up, down. If you have a slam ball, you can use it as well. Just remember to keep your arms straight, holding on the side of the ball. Again, feet fairly wide, and up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And of course, if you have a dumbbell, you can do the same. Hold the dumbbell in both hands and just swing it right between your legs, just like a kettlebell. Hand release push-ups with a shoulder tap right and left. You're going to get into a push-up position, nice straight plank or a little bit of a hollow body. You're going to do a hand release push-up all the way down, release your hands and up, and then shoulder tap right, shoulder tap left is 1 rep. Back down, come up, right and left. Now whether you tap same side, opposite side, we don't care, whatever your flexibility allows. If you need to warm up from your knees, push-up looks like this. Down, release my hands, pick my shoulders up, bring my body into a plank, tap right, tap left. And try to stay as square as you can and not twisting in your torso. That's part of the challenge. For today's workout, if you don't have the ability to run, row, or bike, you can jump rope each round. You can do single unders, you can do backward single unders, or you can do double unders, whatever your preference is. If you don't have a rope, I want you to do ropeless single unders. Some people call them pogos. Pretend you have a rope and just jump.